You know how we're being told to stay away from one another, keep your distance, don't touch. They say it's to keep us safe and protect us from some unseen enemy, but this lack of touch is harmful to us. There's been studies, they show how it stresses our bodies and depresses our immune system.
Now, I could talk for about 45 minutes with how amazing the skin is. It's our largest organ, and I'll spare you those details. Needless to say, it's fascinating. Scientists are discovering specific neurons in the skin that process information about touch. We know the immune response is right there in the skin, which is why a lot of touch probably makes you live longer.
They know that we're wired to touch and to be touched, and all the positive reactions, the social connections and trust that we get from a hug or a handshake and a smile. They know. And they say that the long-term impact of touch deprivation is devastating. Meanwhile, our elderly are not allowed to hold their loved ones, and children are being conditioned to keep their distance from each other.
Again, the provocation here is to be thinking, how do we make sure that this knowledge is brought to the schools about the importance, and as I say, particularly in the early years. Why? Because the power of touch is astounding. Interpersonal touch is a crucial form of social glue. And so we might ask ourselves after Dr. Greenfield's talk this morning are we losing that social glue by having an absence of touch?
They know how important it is for us to have physical contact, and so, they're busy developing their artificial replacements. They're telling you what they plan to do. They come right out and say that they aim to transform our world, and that this technological revolution entails nothing less than a transformation of humankind. They're moving your life into their digital world, and then they're going to gamify it. They know how to keep you engaged, and with this, even more than before, everything you do will be tracked and monitored. And I think it's worth mentioning that the initial major waves of canceling the world due to the coronavirus came from the tech industry. I find that interesting. But you might wonder, why would all your local officials be going along with this tech takeover? I know they're doing it in my town. Well, I'm sure it's not the only reason. We should consider the work that Clint Richardson did some years back, exposing how these things that hurt us, the tech companies, the big pharma, the banks, they're all collectively owned by your local governments and authorities through their pension funds. When I last checked for my area, it was just like Clint's epic documentary showed. Of course, it's not all about the money, but your mayors and governors, the leaders in your community, they're there ushering you toward this smart city, constant surveillance world. And the young people, they've been conditioned for this no-touch, high-tech world. We need to stand together and save ourselves. Enough of letting the manipulators divide us.
Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines. You are men. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful. Let us use that power to make this life a wonderful adventure. Let us all unite.